Hi, I'm Boyd Dunn, and it's been my pleasure over the years to be involved in local government in the state of Arizona as mayor for the last 8 years in the city of Chandler, 16 years on the city council. And it was a very rewarding period of time, but a lot of things that I learned as an elected official, as a mayor, really got me on board for our city. Principally because initially, in the early days of enormous growth in the city of Chandler, I believed in forming partnerships with other entities in order to get things done sooner and to also help pay for the costs of those projects. Namely, we reached out to other governmental entities in the city of Chandler, like our school districts and youth organizations. We were able to build, for example, a performing arts center in the city of Chandler by forming a partnership with the Chandler School District. We built, I think, 4 different pools throughout the city earlier and with less expense in terms of operation by partnering with school districts, whether it's Mesa or Chandler. And we did that also with our libraries. We have 3 branch libraries. But it taught me early on that you can form these partnerships with governmental entities and really get things done in a greater sense for the community earlier and with less expense to the taxpayers. Then we also found out that we could do that with nonprofits. We had a number of nonprofits in the city of Chandler that formed their own coalition and were looking for opportunities to give to the community, so we started having dialogue there. And I think the third component that convinced me that we could go even further was the volunteer base that we had in the city of Chandler. We had volunteers, citizens who wanted to get involved in our community in several ways, with our fire department, with the CERT program, which is the Citizens Emergency Response Team, with the police department, volunteers, with our youth. We had a lot of people and a lot of different organizations that wanted to get involved. So we had the city, we had nonprofits, we had faith-based organizations, we had volunteers. And then I guess there's even a fourth component, and that was with our great faith-based community and churches and synagogues that we have in the city of Chandler. We've been very blessed with enormous diversity in the city of Chandler. A lot of different faiths have located. They've built their churches, synagogues, even a mosque. And we've been very open as a city to allow those facilities to locate in our neighborhoods because we felt that they were a key component in the quality of life that we had in the city of Chandler. And several of those pastors came to me and asked for opportunities to get involved in the community. They asked, what can we do? And at first I was wondering, well, get involved with other churches and get involved with other groups. But why not get involved with the city itself? And so this collaboration, these partnerships started to develop. And this concept of For Our City came from John. And we heard that it was working in other communities. And we said, why not? Why not bring all those components to the same table? The city, along with faith-based organizations, along with nonprofits, along with any volunteer groups or individuals who want to get involved, and see if we could work together. So it became very exciting, and this whole concept of collaboration and partnerships had its foundation already in the city of Chandler. As a matter of fact, it was really the basis for the city of Chandler being awarded an All-America City in 2010. That organization in Kansas City, we had our competition really focused on all the collaborations that we've done as a city to get things done quicker again and with less taxpayer expense. So again, there was a strong basis for this. And so with people like Kevin, who you heard from earlier, Kevin Hartke, we were able to form this organization and start talking about what could we do for the city of Chandler. So For Our City, is it good for every city? I think it's an excellent opportunity for every city. And I also had the pleasure of being president of the League of Arizona Cities and Towns for almost 4 years. And by doing that, I saw that every city has similar issues and similar problems too. They have different needs. Whether you're a Sedona or Nogales or Mesa or Tempe, you have different things that you would like to accomplish in your city, and you haven't been able to, especially with the downturn in the economy in today's world. The lack of funds, you get frustrated because you want to meet certain needs, whether with youth or with public safety or with the neighborhoods. You just don't have the financial resources to do so. And as a matter of fact, many of those financial resources have meant a cutback in staffing and personnel in the city of Chandler. So it was a perfect opportunity when I was mayor the last couple of years to really buy into this concept before our city. And to give an opportunity where we could sit down with all those entities and decide what's the best fit for the city of Chandler. And we found out it was programs for our neighborhoods, programs where we go out and really work on the older traditional neighborhoods, be able to provide services to those who may not be able to fix their homes or to clean up their lots and things of that sort. We saw opportunities of being in the classroom to help schools in terms of teaching the kids to read even, or to be better students. We saw opportunities of just going out and working with youth alone and looking at the homeless issue and those type of things. So it was a perfect fit for the city of Chandler. So I guess in a nutshell, as a mayor, this is a great opportunity for you to do several things. One, find a way to get things done. Two, to reach out in your community and get people involved. You have organizations and you have volunteers that really want to be involved in your city. The problem is they don't know how to connect, and they're scared. Many times they're concerned about, if I'm a faith-based organization, so to speak, can I sit down with a tax-paid entity, with a governmental entity, and work hand in hand? And yes, you can. I think so many times you hear some false information out there saying that faith-based organizations and the government cannot work together, and that's simply false. There's opportunities where they can work together very effectively. And especially when you have a local government that's wanting to find ways to work with faith-based organizations and nonprofits in order to get their goals done, it's a perfect partnership. And believe me, my staff enormously appreciated the help of those organizations and what they were doing, because again, with the lack of funds and personnel, you could tell that when they had the organizations involved for our city, they got the personal reward of being able to get those things done that they were on the job to do. So it's been a real success story, and I think the bottom line for any city is to just take that step forward. And certainly as the mayor, say this is a priority for me. Get your council involved and reach out for our city and get those faith-based organizations and nonprofits together, sit around the table and say, what can we do for our community? Whether we are Sedona or Nogales or any other community, you have individual needs that need to be met. And by doing so, you're going to meet those needs and do it in a way that I think your citizens will appreciate, especially with the hard-earned dollars that they're giving over to taxes every year. So it's a very successful program, and I would encourage you to be involved. If you are a donor, I encourage you to give and to also participate, because it's a way that we can all come together, meet the needs of our community, and have a great and meaningful time in doing so. Well, thank you. And if you have any questions about For Our City, there are people who will be happy to answer, and you can certainly contact me at any time. My email address is boydwdunn@juno.com. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about what this has meant for my city of Chandler. It's ongoing with the help of Kevin Hartke and with the current mayor of Chandler, and we intend to continue for years. And I get personally excited as a president of the league to see other communities who want to get involved. I'll be more than happy to meet with elected officials and encourage them to do so, because again, it is a key way to meet our needs, certainly with a downturn in the economy or in a city where the eventual growth will come back and affect the choices that we have in terms of how do we pay what we need to do. So these are great opportunities that will fit well for your community.